The enigmatic Amazon. Wonders, stories, and curiosities of the world's largest rainforest. The Amazon is more than just a forest. It is an ocean of green, a living library of nature, and a realm where myth and reality often blur. Stretching across 9 countries, dominated by Brazil, but also touching Peru, Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana. It is a space so vast that it can feel endless. It covers more than 5.5 million square kilometers, an area larger than the European Union. Within this expanse, life thrives with such intensity that scientists often call it the lungs of the Earth. But the Amazon is not only an ecological treasure, it is also a stage for human history, cultural encounters, legendary creatures, and scientific mysteries. In this exploration, we will wander through the dense foliage of its history, discover curiosities that surprise even the most experienced travelers, and explore entertaining aspects of this unique ecosystem that has fascinated explorers, scientists, and storytellers for centuries. The birthplace of rivers. One of the most striking features of the Amazon is, of course, its mighty river. The Amazon River is considered the largest by volume of water and rivals the Nile for the title of the longest river in the world. Every second, it pours more than 200,000 cubic meters of water into the Atlantic Ocean. To put that into perspective, in a single day, the Amazon releases enough water to supply New York City for almost a decade. What makes this river even more extraordinary is its hidden web of tributaries. More than 1,100 rivers feed into it, some of them larger than major rivers in other parts of the world. For instance, the Madeira, Negro, and Tapajos rivers could each be celebrated as monumental in their own right, yet they are just branches of the Amazon. From space, satellites capture its ever-changing paths, braids, and islands, creating the impression of a giant organism in motion. And here's a curiosity. In certain stretches, two rivers of different colors meet but do not mix for miles. The most famous example is the Meeting of Waters near Manaus, where the black Rio Negro meets the sandy brown Amazon, or Solimões, as it is called in Brazil. The contrast of the dark, coffee-colored water against the lighter caramel shade creates a natural phenomenon that looks almost surreal. A kingdom of biodiversity. The Amazon is often described as the richest reservoir of life on Earth. Roughly 1 in 10 known species on the planet lives here. Scientists estimate that more than 390 billion trees grow in this forest, belonging to about 16,000 different species. Birds, such as the Harpy eagle, the most powerful bird of prey in the Americas, soar above the canopy. Pink river dolphins, known locally as botos, swim gracefully in the murky waters, surrounded by schools of neon-colored fish. Insects, some dazzling and others terrifying, number in the millions, with new species being discovered regularly. An entertaining curiosity is that some frogs in the Amazon are so tiny that they can sit comfortably on the tip of your finger, while others, like the Goliath frog, can be larger than a dinner plate. Another surprising fact is that scientists once found a species of fungus capable of eating plastic, raising hopes for new environmental solutions hidden within the forest. And perhaps most astonishingly, new species are discovered at a rate of 1 every 2 days on average. The forest is so unexplored that even today, in the 21st century, biologists stumble upon unknown plants, insects, and sometimes even mammals. Ancient civilizations and hidden cities. For centuries, European explorers believed that the Amazon was a virgin wilderness, sparsely populated and untouched. But modern archaeology tells a different story. Beneath the canopy, hidden under centuries of vegetation, lies evidence of vast civilizations that once thrived here. Using satellite imagery and LiDAR, a laser-based scanning technology, researchers have uncovered geometric earthworks, circles, squares, and networks of ditches that suggest large, organized societies. These structures, known as geoglyphs, are spread across hundreds of kilometers in areas of present-day Brazil and Bolivia. They indicate that long before European arrival, the Amazon was home to cities, ceremonial centers, and agricultural systems. One of the most intriguing discoveries relates to terra preta, or black earth. This incredibly fertile soil, enriched by humans with charcoal, bones, and organic waste, was created deliberately thousands of years ago. It still remains rich today, defying the naturally poor quality of Amazonian soil. Some scientists believe that millions of people may have lived here before European diseases decimated local populations. These findings challenge the old idea that the Amazon was inhospitable to complex societies. Instead, it was once a thriving cultural landscape, buzzing with innovation, trade, and ritual. Myths and legends of the jungle. The Amazon is not just a place of science, it is also a cradle of stories. Indigenous peoples have passed down myths for generations, blending the natural and supernatural in ways that make the forest itself feel alive. One of the most enduring legends is that of the Amazons, the warrior women described by early explorers who gave the river its name. Whether they truly existed or were an invention, the image of fierce women warriors has persisted, becoming part of global mythology. Then there are the river dolphins, or botos, surrounded by tales of transformation. Local folklore says that these dolphins can turn into handsome men at night, seducing women during festivals, and then disappearing back into the water by dawn. Even today, some communities whisper about children fathered by mysterious strangers who were, in truth, dolphins in disguise. There are also chilling legends of creatures like the mapinguari, a giant one-eyed beast with the roar of thunder, or the curupira, a forest spirit with backward-facing feet that confuses hunters by leaving misleading tracks. Whether one believes in these beings or not, the stories show how deeply the Amazon's people are connected to their environment and how they interpret its mysteries. The European encounter. When Spanish explorer Francisco de Orellana navigated the Amazon River in 1542, he became the first European to travel its full length. His journey was filled with hunger, disease, and encounters with indigenous communities. It was Orellana who reported the existence of fierce women warriors, echoes of the Greek myth of the Amazons, which gave the river its lasting name. Later centuries saw waves of adventurers, missionaries, and naturalists venture into the forest. Some sought gold and spices, others sought souls to convert, and many sought scientific knowledge. During the rubber boom of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the Amazon became a center of wealth and suffering. Towns like Manaus and Belém grew rich from the export of rubber, used in tires for the rapidly expanding automobile industry. Manaus even built an opera house, the Teatro Amazonas, decorated with marble and chandeliers imported from Europe. Yet behind the glamour lay exploitation. Indigenous peoples and workers were enslaved, tortured, and killed in one of the darkest chapters of Amazonian history. Entertaining curiosities of the jungle. The Amazon is not only grand and serious, it also has amusing and quirky sides. Consider these. There are fish that can walk on land. The armored catfish and some species of eels are able to wriggle across muddy surfaces during floods. There is a spider that looks exactly like a golden coin when it spreads its legs, shimmering under flashlight. Certain ants are so large that locals call them bullet ants, because their sting is said to feel like being shot. Indigenous tribes even use them in initiation rituals, requiring young men to endure dozens of stings to prove their courage. In some parts of the forest, the trees are so tall that they create rain under the canopy, moisture that never reaches the ground, but instead drips endlessly from leaf to leaf. Even the river itself has unusual quirks. In certain places, the Amazon is so wide that you cannot see the opposite shore. At its mouth, near the Atlantic, the width exceeds 150 kilometers, wider than the distance between some European capitals. The Amazon today. Challenges and hopes. The Amazon of today stands at a crossroads. Deforestation, illegal mining, logging, and climate change threaten its future. Each year, vast areas are cleared for agriculture, often for cattle ranching and soy production. Scientists warn that if deforestation continues, parts of the forest may transform into savanna, losing their biodiversity and their ability to regulate the planet's climate. But there is also hope. Indigenous communities are increasingly recognized as key guardians of the forest. Protected areas and international conservation efforts aim to preserve biodiversity, and global awareness about the Amazon's importance is greater than ever. Conclusion: a living mystery. The Amazon is a place where science, history, and myth intersect. It is home to extraordinary creatures, hidden civilizations, and stories that ignite the imagination. It is both fragile and resilient, ancient and ever-changing. To walk through its endless green corridors is to feel both small and deeply connected to something larger than oneself. Every rustle in the leaves could be a bird never before seen. Every bend in the river, a reminder of untold adventures, and every story told by its people a glimpse into a world where magic and reality are inseparable. The Amazon is not just a forest, it is a universe, and even after centuries of exploration, we are only beginning to understand it.